burning something.
Clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AFW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AFW Network.
So not everyone knows, but we lost a member of our community this last week, and the guy who helped build this podcast, JFB, it's his wife, and so my heart is breaking for them. But we're just gonna do the 10 bell salute. So Jessica, she was such a sweet person. Like she would come on at the end of Dynamite After Dark. She just like goof off with us and just say random things. And one of the things she did last year with JFB is they just surprised me with a happy birthday song in my inbox or on my wall or whatever, and it was just so cool. I just wanted to read something really quickly. Jessica battled mightily but passed away Friday night. 2 weeks after her brain aneurysm rupture, Jessica was and will always remember as a bright light, good friend, colleague, and devoted family member. However you knew her, she will be greatly missed. Thank you for your generosity and continued support during the most challenging time. The GoFundMe has knocked over $21,000. So if you want to, their goal is 25, so they're close. But it's amazing how generous and good people are. That link will be available at the end of the show. So anyway, you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, it's definitely shocking, like, and it came out of nowhere. But I will, like you said, I will always remember Jessica just as that funny, full of life individual. Especially, like you said, after DAD, after we talked for an hour and a half, and we took her husband from her for an hour and a half, she still had no problem shooting and shit with us, having us laugh. Like, she was just so full of spirit. Like, she will be sorely missed.
And she's the
And my
only one.
thoughts and prayers go out to JFB and his family.
She's the only one that bought the Running Wild Hulk Hogan font T-shirt. Eric says, rest in peace, Jessica. Caleb, we love you, Jessica. Thank you for being my friend. And he also says, I'm praying for you, JFB. Do you want to say anything?
Well, just only a handful of times I've had the pleasure of her popping on after the show. And yeah, she was a really nice individual. Thinking of GFB at this time, having definitely gained an angel on Friday night.
Yeah, since Showtime Shane didn't mention it, he did bring up another great memory. Remember JFB doing his show from the car, and she's driving, and they constantly losing reception driving through the mountains and everything, and you could hear her in the background. It was great.
So before we get on with the show, I just want to say, Jessica, Halo's up. That being said, it's time for to do. We got a show to do, and we're doing an honor. We're doing an honor, Jessica. We did, like she was. We did it on Dynamite After Dark, but it hits different when they're actually gone.
And also, I haven't talked to you about it, but when we do our prediction league this week, it will be in honor of her. We're gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we'll figure something out.
Eric says, "Tough few days in the community. Love you, AFW family."
Absolutely.
Do you guys know that he's Eric? Real gold price.
Yes, I do know he's. Obviously, I know he's Eric from the podcast, but yeah, he's forever Bryce. Nothing else.
Yeah, in the Happy Birthday Markova video, he's interested. He's Eric. I'm like, come on.
Stick to the kayfabe.
Yeah. But I'm, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch. I'm Canada F and Dry. And I'd like to give a good shout out to my good friend, the Pancake King.
What is up, everybody? You know who I am. I'm EVP Joe. Just here to remember, talk some wrestling, have a good Sunday. And personally, my Ravens won yesterday, so it's a good weekend.
Caleb congratulated you in the other chat.
I missed
in your hard-fought, well-earned victory that you did everything to push.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I was there watching the show, sitting on the edge of my seat because I was so nervous. Because I'm one of those fans, I don't believe anything's official till it's all zeros, especially when it comes to the Ravens.
Are you the type of guy that does something superstitious and you keep doing it?
No, I don't.
Somebody wear their lucky socks and oh no, my lucky socks! What'd you do with them?
Nope, I do not do that.
Did you introduce yourself?
He did not.
Oh, all coming in on a Sunday afternoon on a wild card Sunday. It's NFL playoffs for all that follow. Unfortunately, the Niners are not in it, but I'm still enjoying it under the loss because I think it's going to be one entertaining year. Coming in fresh from the bullpen, the closer, Showtime Shane.
Okay, so real quick. Shane, since the Niners aren't in it, who are you rooting for? And why is it the Ravens?
If it was Ray Lewis era Ravens, I would have been going for them. You know what? I wouldn't mind seeing Ravens. I just want to see anybody but the Chiefs coming from the AFC. That's the main goal for the AFC. And I don't know, NFC, anybody but the Lions since Eric's here.
Oh, wow.
Eric says he's very superstitious. Me, I'm just stitious.
So Niners are in today. It's not so much of superstitious, but I would usually have a jersey. It would either be the whatever color jersey they're going to be wearing that game or whatever. Or I'll be wearing either whites if they're wearing whites that day, and coloreds if they're wearing coloreds that day, and the hat. But not really superstitious, just more of a traditional thing kind of deal.
This one's interesting by Eric. So he's got to wear the same jersey and stand in his spot during the game. He doesn't sit during the game. Who does this?
I have a question. Do you wash your jersey, or do you change your jersey if your team loses? I know people who've done that.
Hey Eric, is that the G spot by chance?
Eric has found the G spot. He's not moving. Hopefully, are we doing the NFL podcast this week?
I got to get up with Mr. Isaacs. I hope we do. We have some good stuff to talk about. So
I'm going to be producing that. So let me know.
Will do. Yeah. Absolutely will.
Eric has found the fun button. All right.
Hey, he puts the fun in dysfunctional.
Yes, he
Nah.
puts the fun. It's time to get on with the news.
From the four corners of the globe, from our studios to your home, this is FNN, the FN News Network, starring Canada Dry and the JFB.
What do we have to start out with, EVP Joe? What do we got in the news?
We got a couple things to talk about. First thing though is send out prayers to everyone in California, but especially to Melina, who is incommunicado at the moment. So hopefully it's just her phone has died. Her phone has died, and that's why she can't be contacted.
Yeah, so she's missing, right?
Yeah, no one can find her. So hopefully she's found refuge somewhere, and hopefully we don't need it to be the bad news that everyone is thinking. So, and that goes out also.
Caleb wants to never know. I'm in.
But also just want to send out positive vibes to everybody out there in California going through this horrible thing right now.
Yeah, like, so weird thing about this fire, it's not really fire season.
I mean, this is another conversation for another day. I mean, California, they don't know how to clean up. Like, they don't do deforestation very well because they want to save the animals. It turns out they're just destroying the animals. So,
but this seems like someone started this fire. Like
they've arrested a couple people for arson out there, and a couple of days ago they arrested a man with a blowtorch who was going somewhere to start another fire. So, like it's there's
terrorism almost.
In ways, yes, or
something like that. Yeah,
domestic terrorism, if you want to like put a name to it.
Like these.
I saw footage the other day, guy lighting a wooden telephone pole on fire, and I was like, whoa! Like it's just wild that like these people were setting these fires out there. It's sad, very sad.
I will say though, it is great to see as much hatred as there is in the world. The fact that you have people in California, you have firefighters from Mexico, you have Canadian firefighters who are also coming to help. So
yeah, Donald Trump. While you're trying to annex Canada, we're flying down these water bombers to help save your ass. So maybe don't annex us.
Well, I honestly think he was just joking with that.
Yeah.
I think he just likes to push buttons. That's what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else do we got?
Let's see here. We'll go with this. Vince McMahon recently settled his case with the SEC. This is different than the lawsuit with Janelle Grant. This was focusing on the improper payments, hush money payments that he made. So apparently he's going to repay all of those payments, and that will settle his case with the SEC.
Okay, so it's not completely over then.
No, it's not completely over yet, but honestly, probably the worst of it is.
Yeah, I imagine he could still settle with Grant, right?
Yes. Yeah, because it's civil, so he's not going to. There's no court. He's not going to jail or anything. This is literally just going to be he's paying money. Is what it would probably be.
You know, if I'm Janelle Grant, I'm not taking any money from Vince. I'm waiting to see what they get, what the verdict is.
Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, also, Vince has bought a building for a studio and has people in line to do something, maybe another wrestling show. I don't know, but he's working on it. Yeah. Hopefully, no one watches it.
He's so old; he should just go away at this point. Like
but here's the thing. Even if Vince was in good standing, Do we really need another wrestling promotion?
No.
No.
No, not at all.
I would like if I was like the god of wrestling, I would force MLW, NWA, and TNA all to be a major. Just push them all together, and they would be able to do some damage. Oh
Yeah,
my goodness! Holy shit,
Hey,
James!
what's going on, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm as good as I could possibly do, but I wanted to thank you guys for the 10 bell salute and for just this community alone has been amazing. The thoughts, the prayers, everything. You guys are it really fills my heart. So I just wanted to thank you guys for everything. And yes, we need another wrestling promotion, by the way. I'm just why do you need another wrestling promotion?
Yippee, are you eating enough? You look skinny.
Yeah, I'm eating as much as I can.
Yeah, like, don't get all skin and bone on us here.
No, I won't. No, gotta keep the guns, yo. Gotta keep
There you go.
Well,
JSB, before you leave, just want to say we love you.
Yeah.
Thinking about you. Man.
Love you, buddy. Much love.
You guys are absolutely incredible. You are my brothers from different mothers for sure. So, but I just want to say thank you. And yes, we need another wrestling promotion.
Just not a Vince McMahon promotion.
Well, and maybe Vince wants to invest in AFW and turn it into a shenanigans. I don't know. I mean, would we deny the $1 billion that this guy has?
Maybe. I think we'd have to sit down and have serious talks about that.
I mean, bring Helen in. She'd be all gung-ho for it. You know how much she loves Vince.
Did you want to stay for a bit or are you heading out?
Yeah, let me stay for a little bit.
Okay, what else we got in the news?
Okay, next up, there are rumors that Gunther will be facing Logan Paul at WrestleMania. What do we think about that, gentlemen? Let's start with Shane. What do you think?
Sorry, what was the question again? I just heard the dog for a second.
No, there. Apparently, one of the matches being considered for Gunther at WrestleMania is Logan Paul.
No. Just a big no to that match.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
What
do you think, Canada Dry?
Who would you put with Logan Paul?
Oh, Logan Paul.
Like, it's got to be a good sort of like.
I don't know.
It's got to be a face.
The Rock. Hollywood.
Give him Cena.
No. Yeah.
Give him Cena.
I think he might be like, if Cena wins the title, I could see Logan Paul being like his first challenger after Mania.
Yeah.
Beating Cena.
It will tear him apart. It will be glorious.
Who knows? Cena might get both nights. Being that it's his last WrestleMania, they might go, hey, you get night 1 and 2. We'll give you 2 separate matches.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind that.
Can Cena go 2 nights in a row is the question. Oh, okay. We'll stick with the WWE. Alexa Bliss looks like she may be returning soon. She posted a little picture of her and her doll. It's been feels like it's been 2 years since she was last? 2.5, because she had a baby, right? Or am I thinking of someone else?
No, she had a baby.
She had an injury, a baby, and then she got sick.
So, yeah. So the trifecta.
Yeah. It's a shit sandwich. It was basically the good part is the baby. The worst part was she has to deal with the injury and she had to deal with her being sick.
I don't know. Not being able to sleep at night probably didn't help much. So
no, probably not.
So what do you guys think she's doing if she comes back?
Not Wyatt 6. I don't think there's a place for her.
I'd rather her be the classic bitch of Alexa Bliss. Don't be
Yeah.
keep this dark character out.
I wouldn't mind her bringing back her like Harley Quinn type character.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Liv Morgan's kind of already doing it though.
Maybe her husband will give her an idea.
Maybe. Okay. Next up, we're going to some good news. The Von Erichs announced on their first episode of their new podcast called The Claw, they have officially signed with AEW, which I imagine they'll be on ROH for a while since they are the 6-man tag team champions. I kind of hope, though, that they don't stay on ROH long because the tag team division in AEW needs some serious bodies and work.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited. I mean, as long as they can stay away from the curse, I have no problem with them. They're a decent team. It's not like they're amazing. They're not horrible. I think they're really good. And I think they're just young. They just need more fine tuning.
Yeah, I like it. I'm excited. Like you need more of these teams, more of these wrestlers that have that genealogy behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
yeah, I love second and third generation wrestlers.
Yeah.
Like it just comes with inbuilt stories, and it makes it easy storytelling. So
Plus, they usually, unless your name is Nia Jax, that you usually are. You've been in the business your whole life, and you're natural, unless your name is Hook.
Yeah.
Shane, you have
There's
anything
a
to
few
add?
out there.
No. That's
Okay, the last item of business I have in the news is Darby Allin is in training to go climb Mount Everest. Hopefully he makes it this time. I don't know. I think if I start training last year and I break my foot and get run over by a bus, I think that would be the universe way of saying don't do it. But
Yeah.
we all know Darby. He doesn't listen, so
There'll be an AEW flag on top of Mount Everest.
why not?
I mean, hey, I know 2 Red Sox fans who climb Mount Everest and put a Yankees hat on top of it and burn it. If they can do that, there should be no problem with them planting an AEW flag up on top.
Do you think that a WWE wrestler will try and climb and put a WWE flag after that?
No, because I don't think WWE will let him.
No, but I think honestly, Randy Orton is going to give him an RKO out of nowhere and send him out.
What the hell's Randy Orton doing up here? Randy's like, I don't know how I got up here.
Okay, so
out of nowhere.
given the fact that Darby is going to be out for a couple months, do we think that Mox holds on to the belt, or is he now going to drop the belt to someone else?
Nah, I think he keeps it.
Yeah, I think he keeps it too.
I think he's got another couple months in him with this belt.
Yeah, I don't know, because unless they do something else, I'm kind of like, I love Mox, but this story just isn't doing it for me.
No,
It
it's
needs
not good.
something.
What's the what's the next pay-per-view? It's Revolution, right?
Yeah.
No, it's Grand Slam in February in
Grand
Australia.
Slam.
Is it a pay-per-view? I thought this was a Dynamite.
Let's see. I'll look it up real quick.
Yeah. Well, Grand Slam is in Australia, right?
Yeah, that's
What
right.
are you watching?
I mean, if Grand Slam's in Australia, I don't see Mox dropping.
Nope, it is Saturday, February 15th, so it's most definitely a pay-per-view.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What is weird about this is they're promoting Revolution before this.
Yeah.
It seems weird.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, they're probably I hope they're promoting Grand Slam in Australia like they are promoting Revolution here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can we put up Tiffany's last message? So, Melina has been found
Tiffany
safe.
has found Melina.
Okay.
Thank you, Tiffany, for finding Melina. I appreciate you so much. You go out there looking for Melina. You found her.
That's good. Hey, just glad she's found safe. That's all that matters. I don't care who did it.
Tiffany Trim is a hero.
She ran into a burning forest to save Melina.
Riding her Huskies.
riding her Huskies.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for news. So, are we good to go, or we got something else to take care of before the main event?
JB, you heading off?
No, I'll stick around for a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna do the main event. You're gonna get to do the big effing wheel.
Oh yeah,
It's been a while since he's done the big effing wheel.
He's never done the big effing wheel.
never
Oh
done it.
wow!
All right. Media. Where the hell's that main event? So
Oh,
Jeff
sorry.
usually does this.
I got
There we
it.
go.
This is the main event of the evening.
All right, so this is the big effing wheel. This is sort of a concept that came up with a couple months ago, and it's a fun sort of thing.
You didn't put
here.
no weird food or anything on it this time, did you?
Not this time, I didn't. So I'm just
Yeah,
looking
the last two times we've done it, we've done peanut butter and ketchup.
Ooh. There we go. Now I'm clear.
There we are, the big effing wheel. There we are. So let's spin the wheel and see what we got. Too many championships. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Yes, there are too many championships. It's like the WWE and AEW of this, and TNA is guilty of this too, of being like Oprah, where they just give away titles like you're the Pepsi Spirit Champion, and New Japan does it too. Like they all have these like obnoxious amounts of championships. No. We don't need that.
For WWE, what I would do to kind of help solve this, if you want to have an intercontinental and a U.S. title for women and a tag team and a world, what I would do, I would unify the tag belts for the men.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can think to solve that problem, because like I wouldn't even have like the Intercontinental and the US. So like,
yeah,
that's what I would have had a one mid card. Two is a bit much. But as far as AW goes, I would trash the trios and the 6-man.
I agree with it. They don't need a trio title. Nobody does. It's a Mexican thing. Let AAA and CMLL have it.
TNA, I don't know.
Oh, New Japan was the trios never so.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I like the trios.
Hey, it's JJ.
What's up, JJ?
What's going on, my brothers? How have you guys been? And how are you, Shane? You seem like you're doing well.
I'm doing all right. How about
Nobody
yourself?
cares, Shane. I wanted to be up here real quick because I was listening, and there's a problem here. There's 4 guys up here, and you guys are leaving way too much empty space. Like somebody asks a question, it shouldn't be a pause. Somebody jump right in there. And that's why I felt like you guys needed me back. So, first of all, Canada Dry. I'm glad you're not becoming the 51st date. JFB, you already got my love, always, no matter what, whatever you need. Yep. EVP Joe, my guy, my partner in crime. Shane, it's good to see you. I just want to point out that Shane like totally killed my AFW storyline, because I was just gonna like beat his ass for like 3 months straight, but then he just like I've gotten beat 3 times, I quit.
Now what, AJ? What do you think? Like me and EV Joe, we're talking about the mustache and the soul patch. Does one gotta go or both gotta go? Or you like it?
I feel like you can't have the soul patch without the mustache. right? So that's why I finally just let mine connect completely now and just gone full embrace the age.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm like a year older than Shane. Like Shane, you're 42, right?
I just hit 40.
Oh, you just hit 40. Yeah, I'm way older than you. Only person that I'm not is JFB. That's my guy. He ain't. I hope I look that good though when I get your age.
But Trey J, you got the magic black man aging process. You look like you're 29.
Oh, absolutely. People keep telling me that. Like when I tell my students like that I'm 43, when I just turned 43 last month, they were just like, "How?" I was just like, because every so often you run into kids this generation that look like Benjamin Button.
Yeah,
like there are kids in my school, teenagers that look older than me, and I'm just like, this is trouble.
But they're not black, are they?
Yes.
Oh, they are.
Yes.
They ain't got the magical serum like Trey J got.
Look, I feel like if Trey J was buff, he'd look like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. But I gotta tell y'all this. This is hilarious. There was this kid. He's like, I think he's like a sophomore, right? And if you looked at him, you think it was a grown man. So one day he was walking down the hall with this freshman girl, and like security tackled him because they didn't recognize him. They were like, hey, what you doing? So.
Oh gosh.
Trey J, did
you
Say one time.
Go ahead, Showtime.
That happened to the Big Show on a date when he was 12 years old. He's told that story. Security tackled him, thought he was some old man when he was with the girl.
I believe it.
Trey J, did you want to comment on the too many belts in wrestling?
It really depends on how it's done. Like you look at a person like Mercedes Moné, and you can make the easy complaint, like, okay, she has 4 belts, but none of them are heavyweight titles. Well, Mercedes not a heavyweight, so it kind of fits. But when you think about all the things that it means, right? Saying there are too many belts in wrestling is like saying there are too many Olympic events. Like there's so many golds. Like what does a gold mean? There's so many silvers. What does a silver mean? And so on and so forth. Like the belts are only going to be as prestigious as they are treated. And so however we legitimize it as fans and how it's legitimized by the companies, that's what's going to end up being what's important and what we judge it by.
Yeah. But ultimately, when you have a lot, it's hard to prioritize the TV time for them.
Well, I think that the belts shouldn't be based on the size of the roster. It should be based on the amount of TV time it is.
Yeah.
Like you think about it, like when WCW had the TV title and we knew that was going to get defended every week. We knew it wasn't going to change hands every week, but we knew it was going to get defended. There was a certain prestige to that, and you could call yourself the fighting champion. Ever since wrestling's gotten rid of the 30-day rule, essentially, it's been kind of important to have a few more belts. Like the women's division has always needed a mid-card title. Yeah. If we're gonna legitimize it, imagine if they had introduced the mid-card titles in WWE at Women's Revolution. Yeah. That would have changed a lot from there. Yeah. Imagine if they actually did keep a Divas title for the, less athletic, more fan-pleasing women. Well, we would look at it completely different because then we would see there are 2 separate divisions of women. And so the way that we approach it is always going to be in how the presentation is. There are belts that mean absolutely nothing that exist in wrestling.
Like New Japan just got rid of one of their belts.
Yeah, King of Pro Wrestling. It's gone.
What about you, Shane? What do you think about the too many belts in wrestling? What are your thoughts?
I mean, you do need a mid-card title. That's the thing. But at the same time, once you start adding the 2 WWE rosters together, it's like that's a lot of titles. Then you add the NXT roster, and it's like, whoa. You start looking at how many champions there are, but at the same time, it's kind of like, in ways it's necessary. Like, you kind of do need a secondary champion, too. If you're not going to put your main champion out there every week, well, you need somebody else, like Trey's saying, to fill up the time and stuff for that. I personally wouldn't want to see the trios go. I was always a big fan of the trios titles back in New Japan with the never open trios champions when the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega won it many years ago before the Elite really took off. But I would say that maybe AEW could eliminate one of the singles titles because, having like an international TNT and the Continental, it's like that's a lot of singles titles besides the world's title in itself. I get the Continental Classic title and its purpose. So it kind of is its own belt in a way, but at the same time, well, now you got kind of too many belts. And then you got Jericho bringing the ROH title to AEW TV, which then it does kind of make it look like there's too many belts at that point. They got to do a better job keeping the ROH titles on ROH. Then it wouldn't be so bad for AEW.
Well, I think the problem with AEW right now is they got 3 mid-card titles and they're not being used at all.
That's exactly.
You know, I mean, you got Daniel Garcia with the TNT, you got, you know, Okada with the Continental, and then you got
Who's the international?
Konosuke Takeshita is the international champion.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, you have these 3 belts that are just kind of hanging around.
What about TNA? What are their belts you would delete?
Good Lord. Where you want to start?
Honestly, TNA tell better stories.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing.
I'm with him.
Are there too many titles? Yes, but my bigger problem is that you have a lot of belts where you're just not doing anything. And WWE is notorious for this. Like when Dean Ambrose was the United States champion, the man had it for 200 and some days, didn't defend the title. It was literally just to say all of the Shield had gold.
Yeah.
It meant nothing. It served no purpose. So for like AEW, for AEW, what I would do is what Shane said: ROH belts don't show up on AEW. The Continental title, I wouldn't make it a title you defend. It's just he wins it in the tournament. He gets the title shot. That's it. And then, honestly, I would make the trios title a legitimate something like they do it. Give it trios rules where there's no tagging. It's if someone rolls in, guess what? Next man up, go. Give it its own distinct feel because we have enough wrestlers on this roster who have the lucha libre experience to make it authentic.
Yeah.
So,
anyone else want to quick thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, I'd say Joe's right about the stories, though. The story, I mean, titles should have stories. Like the titles don't mean anything without the people that give them meaning. It's like Logan, like he said about Logan Paul, who had the U.S. title for the longest time.
Yeah,
and he had 3 defenses, and most of those defenses, 2 of those defenses came right before Mania.
That's true. Let's spin the wheel. Let's see what we got. So this came out that Seth Rollins on the Chris Van Fleet show, he said he was jealous of Cody Rhodes when he had the big moment at Mania. That takes a lot of balls to admit that to the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I see where he's coming from, though. Like, you could say that Seth has been one of the people who's carried this company on his back, and has never ever had a legitimate main event match. He had the cash in, which was an all-time Class A moment, but I can understand him being jealous of Cody. Cody leaves, starts up a new company, and then walks right back into the main event scene and gets basically 2 Mania main events back to back. Yeah, I could absolutely understand him feeling that twang of jealousy. Yeah. It's only human. We're humans after all. Yeah. It's perfectly normal.
I think the problem with Seth Rollins is he doesn't have that aura as being the face of the company. He floats back and forth between heel and face like there's no tomorrow, which is great, and it works for him. But Cody Rhodes, let's face facts, that is the whitest white meat baby face, blue eye you have ever seen in your entire life. This guy is legitimately Hogan without being booed on the Netflix Raw.
Well, also like that, he comes off as obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like dressing up in this weird stuff and doing that. I'm like, yeah, the Joker's not meant to be the face of the company.
He almost comes off as like a white Kanye West sometimes with some of his characters, especially when he's doing the whole laughing and wearing the ridiculous big red boots and stuff like that.
I don't think you can be the face of a company playing character anymore.
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's like, yeah, Roman Reigns is not his real name, but this is he he looks like the guy who carries himself. The movies that he's done, he carries himself in that same aura. The Rock, yes, that's the name, but Dwayne The Rock Johnson is the guy. You get this impression that this is the person that Cena, CM Punk. These are guys that you see. If you saw them out in the street, you would pretty much assume they're the same way they are. Seth is a chameleon. And he has the curse of the worker, which used to relegate people to the mid card, but he's so famous, he's so popular that you can't. And it's because of the fact that he's had a lot of good support. And I do think that he's been jealous. I think he's been jealous of Cody Rhodes. I think he was jealous of Roman Reigns. I think he was jealous of CM Punk. But I think that also goes into some of his character, because a lot of times the Monday Night Messiah, the original Seth freaking Rollins, burn it down, Seth freaking Rollins, was made to be a jealous character. The reason he broke up the Shield was out of jealousy. It's so ingrained in his character. And it's like he'll never be that guy that gets recognized outside of wrestling. He does the Chris Van Vliet
corporate Seth Rollins that Triple H was backing. I think that was as close as he got to being the guy.
Yeah, but even then, he was still, you surround him with Orton, Kane, Triple H, Stephanie, CNC, J&J Security. You gotta add on all this fluff for him.
He was goofy. He was always he was goofy then, and he's still goofy now. Like, he's never not been a goofy character, which is hard to take serious as a face of a company too. So
yeah, in all actuality, as far as being known outside the company, Miz is more famous than Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
I mean,
to be fair, Miz was famous before he came to WWE.
This is also true. But I also look at the fact that, Seth Rollins causes too many. He's always in the center of something. It's either him and Riddle, him and CM Punk, him and somebody. I think he got into it with Miz over Miz and Mrs. at one point in time. This is something that is going to follow him around forever. He was jealous when AJ Styles came into the company. Yeah. He literally had negotiations and said, I can't lose to AJ Styles. So
maybe you should go counseling, maybe work on this jealousy thing.
But I don't think he can. I think that's what fuels him as a character. He's wrestling famous, but he'll never be he'll do Van Vliet, he'll do SRS, but he's not gonna be on Kimmel. Yeah. They just cut his part out of Captain America on the reshoots.
Yep.
Well, that's not his fault. That's Disney's issues.
I'm not saying it's his fault. But if you got a guy that that fans are going to come to see this movie to see this guy, you're not cutting his part. Yeah. Obviously, he doesn't have it. I mean, heck, look at Cena. Cena just did a set of McDonald's commercials that are actually quite awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see me.
Right. And then you have Seth, who was even if you listen to the CVV interview, he talks about how many spots he's basically had to negotiate himself in. When you're the guy, you don't negotiate yourself in. You're put there.
Yeah. All right, let's spin the wheel again. So this one, we're going to ask you guys to push a AEW star and push a WWE star. Who are you pushing, JFB?
For AEW, I'm going to push Anna Jay. I think what she has done in her body of work since coming back from Japan and Mexico is unbelievable. She is not the same wrestler she was 2 years ago at all. If I'm going to push,
she had a good showing in Battle of the Valley last night.
Yeah. If I'm going to do WWE, I'm going to. Man, it's tough, but I'm going to push Jacob Fatu. I think that guy has unlimited amount of talent.
You stole my guy.
Henry was trying to get AEW to sign him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just heard that.
But that was at the time when he had all those issues with the law, so it was kind of touchy.
Well, AVP Joe, who are you pushing?
Okay, so for AEW, I'm going along the same lines as JFB, but I'm pushing Willow.
Yeah,
I think she could be a phenomenal person to be pushed. She has the connection with the fans. She has that charisma, and she's an awesome wrestler. I love watching her wrestle. And then for WWE, come on now, we're pushing Braun Breaker. Put that man in the main event. He's got that.
So he's getting the push, but you want to push him further.
Yes.
What do you think, Showtime? Who are you pushing?
Myself. those are good picks, but myself, I would go with I just had Chris Stratlander for the world title push for once.
I like that.
She's a great wrestler. She really is a great wrestler, and she's made her last match against Moan looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
As far as the WWE side, I would push Dragunov to a mid-card title.
I like it.
Yeah, once he comes back and is healthy, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have him be the one that beats Braun because he would be a believable guy to beat Braun because they've had a couple in NXT or whatever. Like it would be
like they were building towards that before he got injured. So.
Yeah, So,
Trey J, if someone took your pick, you can still use it because you're just enforcing that pick. So
no, I'm gonna go with something different. For AEW, I'm really been impressed with this new young rookie they have out there. I believe her name is Toni Storm. Like she's so happy to be there. And I think she has a lot of potential, a lot of charisma. And she has a look that reminds you of people that of a couple of wrestlers that came before her. One was like Timeless. I remember her. So she really channels a lot of that same look and energy. But I think you should definitely push this Toni Storm. But seriously, you got to push Deonna Purrazzo without question.
Yeah.
Deonna Purrazzo is somebody that should sit at the top of a division constantly. Yep. The work that she did in TNA, and even being the person on the final, being the person that actually beat Roxy for the ROH title, which Tony Khan had to had to pay her an exorbitant amount to come to lose to Mercedes Martinez, was this was proof that this is a person that is worth the investment. From WWE, I know he's getting pushed right now in NXT, but I gotta say you gotta push Obafemi. Obafemi has literally everything that is that you would want in a big time wrestler. This is a guy that to me made everybody immediately forget about Odyssey Jones, Omos, and all these other giants that came through. Yeah. And I didn't fully realize how big he was until he was across the ring from Trick Williams, because Trick Williams is football size. Trick Williams used to play football, so
linebacker.
Yeah. So he was, that's a big fellow, and this is a guy that made him look tiny. So this is somebody that I think is got a great future. His wrestling style doesn't lend itself to too much injury, and I think he could be a major player for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push Harley Quinn, or not Harley Quinn, Harley Cameron.
Love her.
Yeah, that's good. I would. Yeah.
Harley Cameron. This woman is loaded with talent, charisma.
Absolutely.
Her wrestling ability is starting to improve, but I think you could work around that and just her on the mic, just having fun. Yeah. I feel like this is a someone you want to put a belt on. Yeah. And I just want to reinforce Shane's pick of Dragunov because I love this guy.
Yeah.
I think maybe even the world title one day. He's that good.
Bangers. He puts on bangers after bangers when he.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's spin the wheel again.
I'm a.
Well, we got a double.
I'm gonna slide out. It was great seeing you guys. It was great talking to you. I'll chat with you guys later. Definitely.
Right, see you later, JJ.
Take it easy, buddy.
You gotta be safe.
Love you, brother.
All right, let's see what we got. Netflix and chill, baby. Oh. So what are you guys thinking of the streaming service a week in Are you guys liking it? Netflix, WWE, Max, AEW.
I love it. I think in all honesty, they found that latch. I would love to see how many subscribers have subscribed because of WWE or AEW, Max, and Netflix. This is the future of entertainment, not just wrestling, of entertainment. And I think in another 5 to 7 years, you may get a movie that comes out in theaters for 2 weeks, waits about 2 weeks, and then gets right on a streaming platform and goes. I think the theater concept doesn't work, but same with television. I mean, you got people cutting cords going to like Hulu and YouTube TV and all these live streaming TV deals. I love it. It didn't stutter. It didn't pixelate. It was amazing.
Shane, what do you think?
I still like cable better just because the lack of interference. I'm never gonna have to worry about interference with cable unless the big satellites somehow go down, which is once in a blue moon. Unlike sometimes where my internet could be absolutely trash in my bedroom and stuff for that, just because there's so much blockages with the Wi-Fi, or even just it's optic in my neighborhood. It's just not doing too well or whatever. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of streaming services. I know there's also just some older people that are never going to be able to figure that package out, or never going to have the capabilities to figure it out. But on the other hand, it does give you a lot cheaper availability to watch PLEs, especially with AEW these days, because AEW is $50 a pop, and with their new deal. But unfortunately, I don't think we're getting any Canada quite yet. But still, with the States, with the HBO Max deal and stuff for that, you guys are saving a lot of money having these packages now, which is a good thing. You can't complain about that at all. But I am going to miss the stream. Like, I love the WWE Network. Back on the cable package, it did give me the option to be able to go on and stream some of the older matches I wanted. So it gave me the best of both worlds at the same time. But unfortunately, now I lost all that. So
no, I couldn't afford the WWE Network in Canada. It was like $20.
14 after tax.
After tax. Yeah. Anyways, I love the $5.99 Netflix. I've been watching Royal Rumbles from 1988. Now I'm up to 92. And it's just even if you're not watching it completely, it's good background sort of TV where you're like, hey, look at this. It's Papa Shango. Nostalgia.
Okay, so real quick, I just want to say I think it's great because you had Netflix and WWE release this press release saying they had like 4 million. I don't know what their unit was, but they had a substantial amount. And also, Max has come out and said that like in the first week between Dynamite and Collision, they've had over 4 million views.
That's a lot.
So that's a good thing. And they can't lie about this. These guys are publicly traded companies. It would be considered stock manipulation if they did.
I think the 4 million globally, that was live, who watched live.
I don't know. Even live or even in the week.
I think 4 million across the board. I think.
That's still good for AEW considering what they're doing just on TBS by themselves.
Yeah.
So
in all honesty, you're not. I mean, these are the same people that tune into Max to watch Sopranos, The Wire, or whatever show that turns their boat. 4 million is nothing to laugh at. That is freaking fantastic.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you guys watching any shows on Max besides wrestling?
Oh, I just blitzed through the Sopranos, and I'm watching Veep right now.
The Righteous Gemstones.
Eastbound and Down.
That's my favorite. Eastbound and Down is always going to be one of my all-time favorite shows by HBO.
Yeah. I'll tell you, there's a show that just started. There's only 2 episodes out. It's called The Pit. And it's got Noah Wiley from ER, and it's another medical drama. But it's so much more gorier than anything you'll see on TV.
My favorite show on TV this year, Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. This is good shit on Paramount Plus. Oh yeah, you'll love it, Jeffy.
I'm gonna watch it.
Watching on Crave, the Penguin. Penguin is a really good, solid
HBO,
show
yeah.
right now.
Is it HBO or HBO Max? The Penguin.
Crave.
It's on Max.
Well, we're talking for the American folks here.
Oh yeah. No, yeah. It's on HBO, I think, not Showtime.
Max.
Yeah.
All right, let's spin the wheel one more time. All right. All right. How much on a scale of 1 to 10, really quickly, and then we'll move on. How much did you smile when Hulk Hogan was booed, JFB?
I was rolling on the floor laughing my ass off. It couldn't have happened to a better racist.
EVP Joe?
Oh, I laughed. I was hilarious. I was like, ooh, this isn't happening again. WWE's gonna have to do something else.
The rumor is that they might have him get involved in some of the wrestling angles as a heel.
See, no, because this isn't heel or face heat. That was legitimate. Go away. We don't like you heat.
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't matter if you get the booze. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're a heel.
If you want to get somebody Dom heat, Hogan's the perfect person to put as a manager right now.
Oh, if you give it with Dom, he's like, I'm gonna turn wrestling.
No, they would never be able to. If they were together, they would never be able to have a chance to speak. It'd be 5 minutes of straight booing, and then they would have to just walk
Hogan
away.
manages the New Day. Not only is he racist, he's smashing 2 black wrestlers.
I mean, I thought it was interesting that Mark Henry reached out to Hogan to help him, and he told him no. Which
Well, logistically, that is hard because, like, you got to come out and admit that you screwed up.
Yeah.
And that black college is going to eat you alive if you don't say the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's spin the wheel again. Here we go. So the question is...
Hold on. I can answer this. Tiffany, I love you. Yes.
What was the question I had in charge?
Who is Tip's favorite wrestler?
Everybody.
Yes.
Everyone. I love everyone. There's too many.
I love you.
Yeah, she's sister love when it comes to... She hasn't seen that we're making fun of her right now.
Yeah, there's like a 30-second delay or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, we know she doesn't like Hogan, so we got that.
All right.
I mean, he's technically not a wrestler anymore, so it's okay.
Now he's barely a human being.
I did the same one. And sometimes you... So this is Joe's. I'll let you answer first, EB Joe.
So I've done a lot of reading, and honestly, I think he did, because like, you've had this last 2 years where Cody has been built up, and then the whole last year of The Rock. Like, the most memorable thing is The Rock sitting there destroying Cody in the parking lot, making him bleed, and then you just come out and say, "Thanks for carrying the company. Let me give you a hug. Let's go have a drink in the back."
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, you have The Rock donning the Ulafala on Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Like, it just, and if honestly, it's going to take a lot of rehab to get The Rock back to being the villain that he's supposed to be in this story.
It won't take
You
much.
think Showtime?
Yeah, he absolutely heard it all. It's especially with, I guess, the NXT promo or whatever a few days ago too, or whatever. I saw clips of. I yeah, it just literally killed the whole WrestleMania or the storyline with Cody before, and I don't know what they're like. I don't know how you're going to ever have the Roman and Rock match now with the way things are, unless something drastically
They
changes
got a
that
few months
weapon.
to build that if they want.
They might have to do it for next year. That's how much they might have to actually push it for even longer now with the way things have happened. So
Tiffany's still naming her favorite wrestler. I think the tag match on night one was a bad idea.
Yeah.
What I would have done, if you're stuck putting Rock in this, 1-on-1 with Cody.
yeah.
And then he gets, and not go call yourself the final boss. Roman Reigns is the final boss. That was screwed up. Calling yourself the final boss when he's got to beat the final boss in Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You're literally like the lead up boss.
Yeah. You're like the guy before the final boss. Like you're
he's really tough, but
you're
he's
one of the
literally literally the underboss. Is
yes.
what he is.
You can't call yourself the underboss. It's not cool.
Well, also there's already someone who calls him that in New Japan. So
bad luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be messing with Bad Luck Fale. He probably punched Brock right in the jaw too with no problem.
All right, let's see what we got here.
The real loves.
Favorite wrestling game ever?
Fire Pro Wrestling. I bought the first one for a modded Sega Saturn, and I have been a fan of that series pretty much throughout. So we were talking
Isn't it hard?
It's not easy. It's all timing of the buttons and working your health and everything else. Like there's a lot of strategy to playing this game. It's not just like WWE 2K whatever where you just
it's not button mashing.
Yeah, do a finishing move and then bam, you advance in the story. Like there's some legitimate, and it's pretty awesome. I still play it. I play it on my laptop probably once a week.
What do you think, Joe?
I think I'd have to go with WCW versus NWO for the PlayStation. It was like one of the first games I got when I got a PlayStation. That or WCW versus the World. Either one. Both of them were good games that I had. So,
yeah.
Shane?
Well, I could tell you the worst one off the top of my head because of all the hype and buildup and the amount of money I spent in the long run, especially because I pre-ordered it. It's AEW. That is the pileless craps of wrestling games in recent time, especially because of the hype.
Yeah,
is it worse than WWE 2K20 though? That was
that was pretty bad.
That one was bad, but you kind of expect there was no hype to it. Like you expect WWE games to be bad after some years. Yeah. My favorite would have to be, even though I never owned the 64 at the time, would have to be WCW versus NWO Revenge, because that was the game changer game. Like I had a PS1 just like Joe, but that game I used to play at Buddies all the time, especially doing the 4-man hookup for the Battle Royals on an N64, playing that on a Friday, Saturday night with buddies. And that game became the game changer because in that they used that system to make WWE WrestleMania 2000, which then became a huge game. And then that turned into WWE No Mercy, which that game just succeeded wrestling games for a while. Yeah. And then eventually this is what Fight Forever was supposed to be, which was not. So
one of my favorite games of wrestling was Legends of Wrestling.
Yeah, that's really
I
good.
thought this was really good because you had like complete the story. You had like Brett versus Piper and just like all these different like. I would love if they redid this game now.
Yeah.
Because you would just the wrestling nostalgia that you could pull out of this.
Yeah.
Like the coolest thing, you could be Andy Kaufman in this game.
Yeah.
That's how cool it was. So I really like Legend of Wrestling. I call for a remake. So let's see what we got here. I keep fucking up. I gotta label these things.
You should just delete them after you've spun them.
No, I do not believe in Joe Hendry. I think he's overrated, but he can promote himself like no one's business. Like that guy's got some talent when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah.
You got my answer right there. You took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth, so you don't need to ask me.
JP?
I don't. I think he is like Danhausen. He's the right character at the right time. Eventually, it will pass away. It will sail away in the night.
Vito?
I'm going to have to say no, but it's no fault of Joe Hendry's.
Yeah.
TNA should have put the world title on this man back in the middle of last year when he was white hot and everywhere.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but if he goes to WWE, they're just going to treat him like a comedy character.
Yep.
I don't think they're going to be serious with putting a world title on him.
Nope.
Yeah, like the only way that you can make a WWE transition is by being the man in TNA. And I feel TNA knows he's out the door.
Yeah.
They know. They just signed Dolph Ziggler to another.
It's their fault. They didn't treat them like you're TNA. You should have thrown the belt on him instead of Moose or like Nick Nemeth is good, but I mean, you still should have. You got to do something that shocks to get people to watch him. Nick Nemeth, as much as I love him, that ain't it.
Well, that's our show, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate it. By the way, Jeffy, this GoFundMe, these people are amazing. Like you're over $21,000.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
She never met a person that wasn't a friend. Her three closest friends are people she met at restaurants, just talking to them, and became best friends with them. I mean, the YMCA where she teaches, her work at Nissan, like it's amazing what everybody has come to help out and contribute and share it is huge. So, you know, to everybody who gave, and I couldn't even begin to tell you in words how much it meant to not just me, but you know, her family and her friends who are, you know, who started this as well. So
on behalf of the almighty JFB, EVB Joe, Showtime Shane, just keep fighting.
Thanks for tuning in. This has been Tony Schiavone for the All Fan Wrestling Network.
Schiavone.